Welcome to Lawyers Who Care, the video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And on each episode, we will meet a new lawyer and they will share stories of when they went beyond legal counsel for the benefit of their client. My name is Andrew Samalin. I'm the principal of Samalin Wealth, a nationally recognized wealth management firm for lawyers, their firms, and their clients. And let's applaud Lawyers Who Care and learn from them. Today, my guest is Jon Groth, a Wisconsin-based personal injury attorney, and Jon's firm, Groth Law, litigates a wide variety of personal injury cases. And welcome, Jon.
Well, thanks for having me. This is exciting. I hopefully will provide some good information and maybe a funny story or two for your listeners. So thanks for having me.
Perfect. It's my pleasure. So, Jon, tell us how you came to the law.
How did I come to the law? Well, I wanted to be a jazz musician when I grew up, so that didn't really turn out. I came to the law because I went to undergrad wanting to be a saxophone jazz musician and didn't want to practice too long in a room by myself. So I got involved in student politics and then changed my major a couple different times and ended up with poli-sci. And if you don't know what you do with a poli-sci major, now you know, you go to law school. So that's what happened. So I went to law school based on that because I liked the interplay between kind of elections and then marketing and advocating and, maybe debating kind of stuff. So that's how I ended up going to law school. And then how I ended up doing this is a different story, but I'll let you ask the questions. I won't go.
You led me right down the path. I love it. So let's hear it.
Yeah. So I graduated law school in 2000, so 25-ish years ago. And I worked for a general practice law firm doing everything that walked in the door. So traffic tickets to drafting wills and estates and a lot of real estate deals. I would attend lots and lots of planning commission meetings. So it was certainly long days because I'd get there early and then I'd have to go to these planning commission meetings until 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I did litigation, so depositions and things like that. And certainly trials and evictions and just everything that walked in the door. Long story short, from doing that, I kind of got a reputation, which was a good thing, a good reputation. And I had another firm that just did personal injury law, and they contacted me and they said, "Hey, do you want to join our team?" So I did, and then the rest is history. And that's how I got into this niche with personal injury. And in 2010, then I started my own firm. And then we grew from me to now we have about 7 attorneys, 30 or so team members. And we have staff who are local and virtual and in other countries. And we bought another law firm a couple of years ago, more than a couple of years ago now, about 4 years ago. And we expanded into a different type of niche, which is vaccine injury law. So now we help people who are the victim of vaccine injuries, not COVID vaccines, everything but COVID. Congress hasn't done the right thing yet, and they haven't allowed the COVID vaccines to be put into the system. But we do vaccine injuries like flu vaccines and things like that.
And when we started, you had mentioned that there's a seasonal client story that you thought might be appropriate. You want to share that?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, right now I'm looking outside, and in Wisconsin, it's finally getting warm. So we were maybe in summer Monday and Tuesday, and now we're back to kind of fall weather. But that's just the joy of being in Wisconsin. You never know what's going to happen. I know it was snowing up north just a couple of days ago too, while it was 80 degrees down here. But no.
Now, when you say, if you're in Wisconsin, when you say up north, does that mean like Winnipeg or,
No.
Toronto?
That means northern Wisconsin. So that's Wisconsin. So I'm down here. That's Milwaukee. That's Green Bay. Up north is up here, close to the UP. So that's where the real up north is, or you call it Yoopers, up north, that kind of area.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So up north is, I guess, it's a relative term, right? But yeah, ATVs, UTVs are the big thing. Like I was just meeting with somebody last week who's a victim of a ATV crash. He was in the back of an ATV. The DNR wardens are investigating it, and you have these horrible situations where people go out and they're on an ATV, they're going on trails, could be extra muddy or what have you. They don't know the trail, they don't know whether there's a rock there or a turn. And sadly, this was a case where somebody who was driving was intoxicated and took a turn too fast and was not under control, and then flipped the ATV, and both people went flying. And sadly, my client was in the hospital for months upon months thereafter. So yeah, I mean, those kind of cases, I can bet you I'm going to see a lot more of those in the coming months, just because it's that time of year. We had a number of cases probably 3 months ago that were snowmobile and snow machine cases, where people who were on trails up north, and the snow machines, the snowmobiles, somebody's a passenger, or they weren't watching where they're going because there are little mini stop and yield signs, and a snow machine didn't yield to somebody else, and they crashed into each other. So those are the kind of situations that I think we have them more here than in other states, just because of our outdoor activities that we have.
And just so everyone knows, today my guest is attorney Jon Groth of Groth Law. Jon, can you provide our audience with your contact information?
Sure. It's let me get you the website. It's probably the easiest way. It's Groth Law Firm, GROTH lawfirm.com. We're on all the different socials too. So if you look at GROTH Law Firm on Instagram, TikTok, we have our TikTok channel. We have a podcast. You can go to Spotify and look at Groth Gets It is the name of our podcast. And then just simply telephone number the old-fashioned way, 414-999-0000. You can call or text that. And we handle vaccine cases all over the world, in all honesty. We have clients who are in other countries that got vaccines in the United States or on military bases across the world. So we can help anybody with that. But if you're involved in like a car crash or a ATV crash, then we only have attorneys who are helping people in the state of Wisconsin. Gotcha.
Very, very helpful to know. And what I also want to know is, as far as your saxophone goes, are you an alto guy? Like
alto, yes. I played baritone my freshman year of high school in jazz band, and then I I always played alto, but then I eventually went on to play all of them, because if you're going to be a music performance major, especially wind instruments, you got to learn them all. So I played every one that I could. Sopranino, even, I mean, the really tiny one. Bass X, when I played that for a while. And then I learned, flute and clarinet and tried to do that. But that was at the end of my career, where I just realized there are not enough hours in the day, and my embouchure wasn't as good as it could be compared to other people. So I luckily went on to this, where I can do my bebop and scatting verbally, as opposed to with my saxophone.
That's right. I gotta believe you're good at both.
Oh, thanks. I try.
Yeah. This has been the Lawyers Who Care video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. If you're an attorney or know one that does go above and beyond, feel free to reach us at 914-666-6600, 914-666-6600. Jon, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.